How's it going, Tim?
Hey, pretty good, Chad. How's everybody out there in Hog Call Nation doing tonight?
Good Lord, man. I think, there's a large bout of hog pression that most people are fighting. I think that we got lucky, being able to have a big personal W this week, and some of our other ventures. And it kind of, mitigated the loss, And I went back. I was working during the game or whatnot. So I went back and rewatched that game, and I'll tell you, man, that was tough. It took all day, man. I had to take breaks. Um, usually, usually I watch the whole thing, but it was just real frustrating, you know. And what a surprise, that they put the passing quarterback back there, tried to change the entire scheme, and hey, that didn't work. And who mentioned that shit not gonna work last week? We did, right? Nobody fucking else did, but we did. And you know, they put Hornsby in, which I felt like that was gonna happen. They were gonna have to, and then he made everybody look like dumbasses for trying to do a passing scheme, And he holds the ball. That's his only problem, man. Is he just holds the ball too long. He didn't flip it out there and get it to his receivers. He doesn't lead his receivers, man. He wants to hold the ball until his receivers are open and throw it. And you just can't do that in the SEC. Speed's too fast. You got to anticipate where the receiver is going to be open and throw it to that area, And I think that's his, watching his game. To me, that's his biggest flaw. Uh, his run game's impeccable. He's really good. He just holds it too
Yeah.
long when he drops back.
Yeah, no, he's not, and he's not a lost cause for sure on the passing game, like you're saying. Like, just kind of get to work on that. Hopefully, KJ's healthy the rest of the season, and commit to him being like it's so strange that he wasn't like they're moving the receiver and not like when we have no other like when Fortin's the backup. Like, how do you not just have Hornsby? Obviously, it's like yeah, he said he wants to play quarterback. Of course he does.
Yeah,
Like he knows probably the deal. KJ, and what's wrong with that plan of KJ having a great season this year, going to the NFL, and
mm-hmm.
Malik, coming in. But he shows the flashes. But like you're saying, yeah, he's holds the ball too long.
Absolutely.
Exactly like you're saying. And you know what? I mean, like he did. I mean, he some of those he's got potential. You saw like on that Bryce
Mm-hmm.
Stevens, like just dropped it right in there. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
still could have let him. I think a little bit more on that one too. But good, great play and. Um,
Yeah, the only thing I'm
but
gonna fault that kid with, honestly, is a little bit of a lack of leadership, in my opinion, because he uh, is bitching and complaining about getting to play wide receiver. A lot of people would give their left arm to play a wide receiver while he's just sitting on the bench. Uh,
yeah,
the coaching staff thinks he can do it. He should be giving his all, 100%, trying to give what he can to the team to win. Shouldn't be, in my opinion, demanding he plays a certain position only, right? And that's it. Just quarterback. That's all I'm going to do. It's kind of weird, and I think that you want the guys to look up to you. You want the team to follow you, and you got an opportunity right here to be able to get out there and be a leader and show that you're willing to do what it takes to get a W. Whether it be play wide receiver or play quarterback, and then you move over into quarterback after JK's gone, stuff like that. Yeah, or KJ's gone, stuff like that. So, I think that I just think that would show a lot of maturity and leadership, but he didn't do that. And then Pittman obviously got upset, you know, about some of the jumping in the transfer and all that kind of stuff and everything. And you can't blame him. You knew he was going to, but I feel like if you're going to play him, he's your number two guy. He's the guy you put in. And if you're going to bench him, you bench him. If that's the line you're going to draw in the sand as coach, fine. But he was riding somewhere in the middle there, and I don't like the way they switched quarterbacks in and out in that game at all. I don't care for that. Never have. We talked about that with Chad Morris and stuff when we saw some of that. And you gotta pick somebody, put them in there until they either get hurt, win the game, or lose the game. And even with a even when you're number two, at least give them a full half. Before you put the next guy in to give the next guy another half. I don't know. I don't feel like the Caden kid or whatever. I don't feel like he got the opportunity to really prove what he can do because he was pulled out so quickly. Never really had the opportunity to get comfortable. So
Yeah, that's a great point. And the one thing I know you said it last week, there was a certain, I can't remember the amount of plays you said. There was a threshold where you were like, Mississippi runs this above this many plays, we're going to lose. And they ended up ran 48 pass attempts and 37 run attempts. So, you know what I mean? They ran 80 something plays on us. Almost. Oh, yeah. Oof. Almost. Yeah, so that's quite a bit. While on the other hand, we've 23 pass attempts, 44 or so. A lot less of our offense being on the field longer than theirs.
no, absolutely. And I think it played a big role in the game. We just couldn't control anything within the game, right? From beginning to end, we had no control over this game, and you just can't. You just can't win a football game like that. It wasn't like a Texas A&M situation where you had a couple fumbles and a field goal that could have won it, and you know you lost the game. You could have won. You just totally got stomped from beginning to end in this game, and I think that's what hurts the worst.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just the one thing to get beat to Alabama by a couple touchdowns, but to get beat 40 to 17 to Mississippi State, all those cowbells ringing early in the morning, just awful. It's embarrassing. I mean, it's quite the embarrassment to get whipped to Mississippi State. I mean, I don't know if they've ever anytime they have beat us, it hadn't been the Morris years. Besides those years, I was looking that up. Like we never when we've lost to Mississippi State, which is rare. Uh, you know what I mean? Lost by very much. So that was just disappointing.
Yeah, it really was. But I don't know. What I'm worried about is I don't feel like we're getting better at this point. I feel like we're backsliding. I mean, at least the best we can do is be even. With last year, and you just I don't know. You just hate to see that. You know what I mean? You just don't want to see that from your team. I mean, I don't care that we did.
Mathematically,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say mathematically, we still got one more shot to get 10 wins, but that's it.
I mean,
So
here's the
do one
here's
more better than last year, but you don't see it like you're saying though. We're not getting
yeah.
any better. There's no on the horizon oh yeah, we've got momentum. We fought hard. We could definitely win out. There's nothing like that.
No, I mean, and then here's the thing: is it all Pittman's fault that we're getting worse as a team as the year goes on? I don't know. I mean, maybe you can put it back to conditioning and things like that, and start thinking about how we should tackle it in the off season and stuff, where you're not physical enough. I mean, I remember there were times when folks talked about not tackling enough, and we were going to have fumbles and all these things, and you saw those things happen in the first few games sometimes. So you got to start wondering, is it a conditioning situation where everybody's getting hurt and going down? And you're seeing a lot of that. You got two freshmen in at cornerback. I mean, goodness gracious. Or at least you will have for this game. We had one last game. We're gonna have another freshman this game, and you're pulling in your bag of tricks and trying to get anybody you can on the field to give you some, you know, uh, production.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the injury bug has gotten us big time, and I'll be honest, man. I'm still not over the A&M game, and it's just been like a slog. Besides that brief moment, I thought we were going to beat Bama. It's been a slog the last couple of weeks regarding Razorback football, and it's just a weird, like, that's not. I thought that was over with that. You know what I mean? Like, I
Hmm.
kind of get it. We're not going to go undefeated and stuff all the time, but it's just kind of. I don't know if the team's kind of. I don't know. It's kind of a. Pittman admitted to that. Like after that, it was kind of worrisome. We talked about it a couple podcasts ago, even before I think we lost, where he
Hmm.
admitted like at that Auburn, like they freaked out the sideline. You know what I mean? And like never like if it don't go your way, just it's going to keep going that way. And he kind of admitted that happened last year.
Oh
So
yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, he's a pretty new head coach, so I don't want to blame everything. It's been a really weird season, so I don't want to blame. I like the guy. I'm still happy he's our coach, but there are some things like that when you lose that bad to Mississippi State, you got to be concerned about.
Well, he knows it. He knows what's on the horizon. He's been around the landscape for a long time. You see him right now that he's pulling the defensive coordinator down on the sideline. Now, why do you think he's doing that? He's doing that because he said, "Hey, Barry, you need to figure this shit out. What's going on? What do we need to do?" And he's like, "Well, if I can get down on the sideline, that shit happened in the office." So he's like, "Okay, we'll get you on the sideline the next game." But you start thinking about like, all right, now then what's the next step? Right, next step is maybe we're gonna have to get a new DC. You know, maybe we'll have to pull somebody else into that position.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the way our red zone offense is, if that improves. We might just clean house on the coordinator situation and start afresh in Pittman's, fourth year.
I mean, look, I don't mind our offensive
Oh no.
coordinator. I think what he's doing is interesting. It's not some of the decisions he's made haven't been my favorite. And I don't really care for the scheme he runs, but at the same time, he's pretty effective in what he does. So, but you can't just be getting burnt by everybody. We're the laughing stock of the SEC. Whenever we come to play teams, they say, you know what, just throw the ball and you're going to win. You got guys throwing 395 yards, 3 touchdowns, breaking records against us, all because we have no cornerbacks.
Yeah. And it's still not going to be any better. Catalan ain't coming back this year. Slusher. It's like, well, Slusher, Jay Johnson, Kari Johnson, are any of them going to be able to play? So that
Mm.
right there is already. Um, yeah, I forgot. Oh, yeah, Ladarius Bishop. He was down the first two games too. That's we had. Wow, we've had so many guys go down. So you're looking at third, fourth string moving guys. But still, there's still some. They shouldn't be that bad.
Mm.
Um,
And our offense is putting out production even on this game. Though we get blown out, right? We still put out some production. We still put some points on the board with second stringers in and everything else. I mean, we're producing, right? But we got to stop people. We got to stop people. All great teams win with a good defense. Period. Yeah, we got to get our defense better. It's ridiculous, man. 40 points by Mississippi State, like that's not okay. That's really not, you know.
no, it's not. Yeah, I mean, in the rush defense, which was solid starting off earlier in the year, has not like Mississippi State handled it pretty good. And once they got the lead, they just there was a time when we made it 17 to 27.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in that end of that third quarter, and then all of a sudden, and then bam, the running back Johnson rattles off a 30-yard run, just like
Mm-hmm.
then goes from 17 to 27 to 34 to 17, like
Mm-hmm.
that, and then that one hurt. Watching that at the barbecue competition, and that one hurt. You thought, all right, maybe there's some life there, and then
Mm-hmm.
they just were able to do what they wanted against us.
Yeah, yeah, and whatever. I mean, it is what it is. We
You know,
just got
whatever.
we got to do better, So,
Yeah.
what's the bright side, right? That's what you got to start thinking about. You can't just sit here and drink Paps all week. You got to start looking for the bright side of things.
AJ's coming back.
AJ's
That's my
coming
bright
back.
side.
That's a huge bright side. We are trying some new things. We are getting some new guys in at corners. See what we can do. Maybe somebody's going to step up in that position. You know, uh, Goodness.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's still nice. I mean, on two line like Sanders and Poole are still healthy for us, right? At linebacker, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the D line should be better. I mean, they're not just big injuries. Like it's been kind of a team thing when we've had success on the D line. So
Maybe we could put Hornsby out of corner. Do you think these fast
yeah,
guys could
yeah.
just burn Hornsby? Probably only fast running forward. I
He
don't
is that. He is that though.
know. I don't know, man. I don't know. We got to get it figured out. But regardless, the game we're fixing to play is a out of conference team, and they were ranked top 25. They fell out just like us. They have not looked good, in my opinion. When I look at the games and what they've done, I'm not impressed at all with them, to be honest. So, you know, I just feel like this is a game that we're going to be able to go to and turn it around, get it where it needs to be, and then move forward. Then you got a crappy Auburn team. You beat that team. You beat Liberty. You're rolling LSU, feeling good. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, at this point, can I pick Ole Miss as a win? I mean, I picked them as a loss in the beginning of the year, and I'm gonna pick them as a loss now. I don't think we'll get past Ole Miss at this point, the way they're playing. But we can beat Missouri. We can beat everybody else on this schedule.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even Ole Miss, it's still Ole Miss. You know what I mean? And at home, and if we're 4 game win streak and we get some guys back, and and figure some things out. We did it last year. I mean, we finished strong last year, so there is possibility of rattling off. If we can win this game this weekend, get to a winning record, get the bye week, and then like you're saying, we get some payback. I don't care if it is a road game to Auburn. I think we'd go down there. Um, in that scenario of beating BYU and getting that bye week, I think we go to Auburn and take it to them. They're just not well coached, not a great program right now. There's no excuse for us to not beat them. And then of course we got to smack Liberty around. We shouldn't even give that school money
Mm-mm.
um, to play them. And LSU at home, they're kind of in our situation this year. Not doing, of course, they got first. Well, Ryan Kelly's experience, but and then Ole Miss definitely the toughest. But it seems like the schedule gets better,
Mm.
than the first 6 games because Petrino brought it as a supposedly the what you would think looking at it without thinking of Petrino the easiest game on the schedule,
How's he
but
doing
maybe
this
it's
year?
because of Missouri.
How's he doing this year? Has he lost the game yet? I haven't kept up
Well,
with him.
like there was one game, Chad, like right after, like they were playing somebody really. They lost a close game, I think. Let me make
Oh
sure.
yeah,
I'll look at it.
you gotta wonder.
Oh yeah, no, goodness, yeah,
Has he lost
wow.
a couple?
Hold on, man. I'll get you the exact. But yeah, I
Oh
see
man,
3 right.
that's
All
not
right, so
good.
they lost to us, and then they lost at number 2 South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits. 14. They lost 28-14 to the Jackrabbits. Lost at North Dakota, not North Dakota State, 48 to 31, and recently lost to Southern Illinois on Future Bears Day,
Oh my
38 to
God,
21. Like they're not even like in
so
these
many
games. Like,
losses.
oh goodness, I don't know if they're gonna make the playoff.
He ain't never getting hired anywhere again.
Well, maybe it's ROC. What do you think about that? Just throwing it out there. I don't
I'm just,
know.
I'm
Maybe
just sitting
maybe
here
you've said it
looking.
before.
I'd take him as the OC. I'm just sitting here looking at Baylor, or not Baylor, but BYU, and I'm looking at everybody they've played so far, and just, I mean, it's not impressive. I mean, you play South Florida, you beat them 50-21. So the big story there is you allowed South Florida to put up 21 points on you. A Chad Morris offense getting run down there. You know what I'm saying? They're putting
Yeah.
21 on you. So and then you go over to Baylor and you just barely beat Baylor 26-20, and you go into overtime to do it. Like that's that's not the that's not a good team. You play your first uh, top 10 team, top 12 team at Oregon, you get smoked 20-41. Uh, you play Wyoming, you know, and you beat them 38-24, but you still again you allowed them to put 24 points on you. You know, Utah State allowed them to put 26 points on you, beat them 30-38. I watched this game, and the interesting thing I thought about the quarterback, he's incredibly accurate, very good quarterback. They got great wide receivers, Rodney out there running around all over the place. They lost. I guess Romney got hurt. I guess he's coming back. It's gonna be his first game back, of course, playing us. And I wonder if that. I keep wondering if that's Mitt's like grandson or something. I don't know. I bet it is. But anyway, uh, you got this kid out there just running all over the place. You got this quarterback slinging it everywhere, and they're moving the ball up and down the damn field. But it just doesn't feel like they're putting it in the end zone as much as they should. You know what I'm saying? Like even though they're beating these teams, man, these teams are scoring on them and looking good at the first of the games, you know, and they're really having to work hard, or at least for that Utah State game, they really had to work hard to win that game. And I don't know, it's like an offense. It's just not quite clicking or something. That's the best way I could explain watching that, right? And then they get beat by Notre Dame 28-20. So, you know, the thing that I take away from this is they've held, you know, most of their opponents down to a pretty decent level, and they've been able to put up, you know, quite a few points on the teams they've beat. Um, you know, I don't think they can stop us. You know, their defensive line, they look slow and overweight. The offensive line looked really good. Now, I don't want to, you know, take away from the offensive line looked great. The
Yeah.
defensive line looked really like trash, and our running game is going to take advantage of them. Uh, you know, and I can tell you that I think we're going to do better. You know, our linebackers and stuff are going to do get better. We were seeing folks get rocked. You know, meeting people in the not naming names, we know who they are, but it does. Meeting people in the hole and getting rocked, you know, walked over, not just on touchdowns, but all over the place, all over the damn field the whole game. And I don't see that happening and with these guys. They're just not as fast and athletic as these SEC teams we've been playing. We'll have the upper hand as far as that goes. But you know, I guess talent wise, we got them beat, right? It's just like, can we get our defense to put it together? Are they going to throw the ball everywhere? Are we going to have a 50-51 game? You know, or are we going to come out and show up? Now, remember last game, man, we were batting balls down. We should have been hitting interceptions and stuff. You know, right off our fingertips, like 5 times, like not just once or twice,
Good
like five
defense, yeah.
times, like a lot of balls that we should have been snagging down and hawking like we did last year, and we wasn't. You got to think that gets corrected in this game.
Yeah, you would hope so. We hadn't had a turnover in 3 games. Man, I don't think we've had even a fumble recovery, an interception, nothing in the last few games. Even against A&M, where we were in the game, we didn't. Yeah, BYU is an interesting team. It's not, the last couple of years they went 10-3, 11-1. They've been, a solid program, but they don't have. They've kind of lost the players. It's not one of the best teams, but they did start off top 25 like us. Sataki's been pretty good there. Independent. They're about to move to the Big 12, which is interesting.
Mm.
Um, so good for them. It's wild. I mean, BYU, just as a football program, has won a national championship in 1984. Like, more recent than us.
Wow,
You know what I mean? And had a Heisman Trophy winner, Ty Detmer, I think like 90 or so. Isn't that crazy? And um,
that's
they were
gross.
really
That's
under
gross.
Lavelle Edwards. That's why they named the stadium after. They were really, really good in the 80s and 90s. But that's crazy that I forgot that they. And that wasn't even like a Steve Young team. So they've put some guys like that, some Super Bowl winners in the NFL too. But yeah, this year, trying to watch a little bit of that Notre Dame game, and think it's like the second two straight games the quarter they've opened with like a deep pass. So there, you know what the strategy is. It's plain as day, and why would you not attack our secondary? You know what I mean? Just plain as day, they're going to do that. Running game's okay, like you said, the offense can score, but again, looking at those, it's just easy to see like they've given up no less than 20 points every game,
Yeah.
no less than 20 points. And KJ is going to be raring to come back because he had some good before he went down against Bama. Like the offense, we were putting up some points once we kind of figured it out. And other games that wasn't a problem. So I like you're saying, and especially with their weakest spot, like you're saying on the D line. You know what I mean? Like we're going to be able to. They've struggled up front to stop the run. Um, and they're not a big pressure defense. Um, and then I know Notre Dame brought a lot of pressure on BYU, and it worked. And they were 16 going into the last game. Isn't that crazy, though? They've been, they're thought of. They're a good team. They're a talented team. They're not as talented as us. Not one of the best teams the last couple of years, but it'll be interesting. I mean, it's still a road game, a little different altitude, 4,900 feet up there. But I think it'll be fun. Like you're saying, the Hall's a pretty good quarterback, and then he's got the Romney kid, Gunner. That's definitely a Romney name. Yeah, he's something. Romney used to coach their football team. Looking at their past seasons, long time in the 30s and 20s. So their Romney's all over the place, but I'm sure they are related. And
Probably more.
but then they also Puka, another receiver. They've both been hurt. So if those guys are both like looking to start this week. You know what I mean? And also going what you said, the offensive line. I think I saw a quote. Somebody said one of our defensive line, like looking at them, they said they're pretty big O line. You know what I mean? You're saying the D line look bad, but the O line is like, it's different. They've got some 6'7", 6'8" guys, 300 pounds.
They do got a
So
good
definitely,
O-line.
yeah. So that's can we get pressure against that O line? That'd be the key because that Hall kid could sit back there and throw it on us all day if we don't get anything on him.
Well, that's the thing, I don't want to see this, going into a three safety situation with a three-man front and no pressure, and the team that's leading in sacks. Let's fucking do it, man.
Or not anymore.
Pin your fucking ears back and go after it. Let's get some sacks, man. You know what I'm saying? Like let's freaking start stunting a little bit more. Let's start blitzing up the middle, off the edges. Hell, let's throw a quarterback blitz in there too. They can't keep up with the wide receivers. Might as well let them blitz. It's a shorter distance. They might go in there and get it. You got to do something.
4 sacks in the last 3 games, Chad. We were number 1 in the country, but
Call
4
Reggie
sacks.
Herring and ask him how he'd attack this team, and then just do that. Right? We want to attack the fucking quarterback. That's what we need to do as a defense. I don't give a shit how good Barry Odom is, or how smart he is, or how he's supposed to be the best ever, and all this. That was a stupid ass defensive scheme that he ran last week against the Pirate when he should have been just trying to disrupt the quarterback all he could and not letting him throw the damn ball. Obviously, your corners are weak, so you're going to try to keep them in front of you. Well, all that's going to make is a fucking slant that's caught and run back for 90 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's not. What do you get? You catch a slant behind the damn linebacker. Who you got to beat? One of the 3 guys. Good Lord, and you got a lot of room to do it. I don't like it. I just don't like it at all. I don't like that type of defense at all. Give me a 4-man front. Give me some blitzes. Give me some stunts. I want to see some guys coming off the edge, up the middle.
Yeah, we need to see something like that for sure, man. Got to change it up. Maybe going back down the sideline. That's an obvious, hey, defense ain't working.
Yep. You got to do it. You got to bring pressure. You're the best defense sack team in the nation. Had been for most of the year, until recently. You got to bring pressure. You got to come after this quarterback and disrupt him. That should be the goal. Disrupt the quarterback so he can't throw the pass. And then if he
And he's
throws
not
some big ones, if he gets a few big ones off, like whatever, you guys got to get up there. You got to do better. It's just the damn game plan. You know what I mean?
and I don't know if you what you saw in the Utah State. Would you? I mean, I don't. From what I've seen of him, and even look at like, it's not. He's definitely not like a. I wouldn't say he's not mobile, but he's not a guy that's looking to run. So you can feel like you can pin your ears back and go out. You know what I mean? Like he might have to escape, but he's not a great runner where you're just scared. Like, you know what I mean? Like you kind of like, oh, he could get out there and get 30 yards on you, like KJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
feels
He's a
like we
pocket
could
passer.
definitely get stuff. Yeah, yeah,
But he can pull it down and run it. He does have some speed. I did see him run it. You know what I mean? Uh, and
yeah.
he tends to like drop back
Okay.
and like wait till the middle opens and pull it down and run it straight as well. You know what I'm saying? One of those type things.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's not. Yeah, he's not KJ fast. He's not a mobile quarterback. Like that's not his style. That's not what he's doing. He's not comfortable on the run.
Yeah.
So if you got him escaping the pocket, you're in a good situation because it's different with like a good mobile quarterback like KJ where he escapes the pocket and he can sling the ball and he can run it on just whatever he wants.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's good, man. Though, that, like he's back, that just feels better. You know what I mean? Like just even thinking about the possibility of going on this win streak we're about to go on. Look at us getting excited.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe BYU's this historic badass program, and we're gonna go in there and we're gonna face a team that is of SEC caliber, has the
No,
possibility of beating us. Maybe it would have beat us in a bowl game or something like that if we met up. I don't know. I just don't feel like that's the case. I could be wrong, but just after watching the teams, there just seems to be a noticeable gap in athleticism between the two teams, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, look, we're on similar courses. Both of these teams really, and it's like both of them want to get a win and turn it around, and you know what I mean. But for them, it's bigger because they're beating an SEC team. You know.
yeah, one of the some stat I saw is saying maybe he's beaten Sataki since he's been there the last 6 or 7. They've beaten like 6 Power 5. No, maybe 6 Power 5. I mean, they've been independent for a while. Definitely not a badass program. Last 2 years solid, but before that, there were 7 wins. 4 wins, 9 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And Bronco Mendenhall was okay, but definitely that was strong. Was definitely in the '80s and mid early mid '90s, but they're still solid for an independent program. But definitely, I mean, the talent gap should be really really high. I mean, they have to get creative, and they've got a pipeline from let's say from let's see from they've got 40 members of the current roster of Polynesian descent. They've got guys from like the Hawaiian Islands, Samoa, Tonga. It's a
What's
really good.
interesting is
Yeah,
Northwest Arkansas has one of the largest Marshallese populations outside of the Marshallese Islands. So
yeah,
we have something in common there with the Islanders.
for
I
sure.
wish we
Yeah,
would put more on the football program. I've talked about like how I think we should be recruiting, and I've said it in past podcasts and stuff. Well, if you go way back in the Wayback Machine, but I do think we should be recruiting. Like Hawaii and the islands and stuff for linemen and things. I feel like it's an underutilized area. And what's interesting is a lot of them do leave instead of going to like Hawaii or something like that, where you would think, they might have a camaraderie with
yeah,
another school like that, But a lot of them do leave and go to BYU and stuff. But that's because a lot of them are Mormon. and it's like a big religion down in the islands and at the schools over
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
BYU.
Utah.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that. Yeah, that's
yeah,
taught us all. I'm sure I'm not the only one out in the listening audience, but yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, we need to get these guys. That'd be awesome.
yeah. We got to win this, man. We gotta
Yeah, got
we gotta win this game. I mean, that's just this is a must win. This isn't a I'd like to win or need to win. This is a must win. You know, you win this, you
these.
put them at the same record as you. You know, it just evens out everything in the universe. You know, gives us a nice win after all those losses. You gotta feel
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Next week they play at Liberty, so hopefully they beat them. But it'll be nice to kind of compare a little bit what they're looking at for one of our next games. I'm just looking at the schedule, but yeah, I think a must win is really. I mean, I don't think that's far stretch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean Pittman
It's
needs this win for
three
him,
and four. Yeah.
for him
What's
in
his
his
record?
career. 15 and 14. So this will put him at 15 and 15. If he gets it, he'll be batting, 500. And hopefully the next week you go to Auburn, you get a win, and you're back in the right track. You got more wins than you got losses. Right now, you got more losses than you got wins. You're not in a good situation. So you need this win as a head coach, and you know it.
Yeah. So he's 15 and 14 right now. So he's if he can get a little bit, maybe he can get a little bit built up. 16 and 14 against BYU, and then at Auburn. Keep rock. Hopefully he'll never look back, but he just keeps kind of playing around with that line again. You know what I mean? Before this, he
Mm-hmm.
was 15 and 11 a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
Exactly.
I
So,
just think we can. I said that. I mean, well, different coach. Reminds me kind of going out west like we did against Colorado State. It's like just run, we can just run all over and we were until we stopped running and stuff, and we can run. Just looking at just giving Rocket, and Rocket had the like. I know you watched it more recently than me. This game against Mississippi State. I don't want to bring it up too much, but Rocket had like 20 carries, like pass. They were
mm-hmm.
like he is obviously like the. But then it didn't seem like the end of the game. Maybe it was over too much, but they kind of didn't really have any after that. I feel like it was a thing like, oh, there's got 20 carries already. Then he didn't have.
Yeah. I felt like they
Uh,
ran the ball way too much, and they just kind of got away from it. And,
yeah,
thought maybe we were going to do it through the air, and that seemed to be working for a while. And then you get that fourth quarter situation like you're talking about. The tide just turns on you. So,
sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up because I think we're gonna turn it around, but just kind of reminded me.
no, it's okay. And I think it was a good point, and it, kind of just illustrates, um, what our offensive coordinator's trying to do. Run the ball first, throw the ball second. Try to stay 50-50. You notice he tries that real hard. Uh, but
And I don't think that might not just be even just a him thing. Sorry, Chad.
mm-hmm,
Just add on for you move. Just a Pittman thing as a offensive line.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, maybe so. And then you see him latch on to things that works throughout the game, right? You notice that, like if the passing game's working, he latches onto it. The run game's working, he kind of latches onto it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I agree. You see him running, and why not keep it going? Why not keep that going as you move forward? We saw this at the beginning of the year where we were like, why ain't you giving this guy the ball? He's getting 8 yards per carry at one point, right? And you're not giving him the ball. And it's because, you like, I don't know, it's like there's an extreme of play calling, it feels like, right? Where you call it heavy run and then you call it heavy passing. I don't know. I just feel like it could be mixed a little bit better, personally. And I think that, if you're trying to wear them down and run the ball, right, if that's your strategy, don't abandon that in the third quarter, you keep pounding. You keep pounding them because that's when you wear them down. You win with that type of a game at the end of the third and the fourth quarter. When you got them tired.
I think that's good. I think you're right on the money, Chad.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just no. I mean, this game's pretty obvious. We should use the run game on them. You know what I mean? Like some of these teams, even like that Utah State game, 200 yards they had on 49, rushes.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon Notre Dame, 212, 234 yards. Like they've given up that 200 mark quite a bit. 172 yards per game. Rocket Sanders is 10th in the. No, Razorbacks are 10th in the nation in run offense, and Rockets, the SEC's leading rusher.
Mm-hmm. And now this week, whenever you run that goofy option, that goofy triple option, you got the pass, you got the handoff, and you got the keep. You know, well, maybe they'll damn respect it this week. You saw they was not respecting it so much last week. Even Malik was getting big yardage out there, just running all up and down the field. So it's gonna be even worse this week. So I don't know, man. Can they put a spy on the quarterback that can stop, that can tackle him? Or can he still get 5 yards? Because if you get 5 yards twice, that's all you need. Just do that over and over again.
Oh yeah, I think so too, man. And hope maybe that spy, takes off a defender in the secondary
Mm-hmm.
from their defense, and we're able to. KJ obviously is a good thrower, man.
Oh yeah.
I need to see some of these guys. It's good to see Hazelwood got his first 100-yard game for us. Uh, Bryce Stevens had a couple good plays. It just wasn't enough that last game with KJ. Maybe he's able to. Of course, I want them to run it 40 times and pass it, a good bit too. So it's like if we have that many plays where it's like Mississippi State, they were able to do it. They had both rush and pass, and you saw how it works when you can't just 3 and out, 6 plays and out, and things like that. Just stop, man. We should be able to drive it down the field on them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think also, one of the things that's not talked about, I feel like, is like AJ Green too. Like every time he touches the ball, he's getting some yards, man.
Yeah, he's good.
And he's just not getting a lot of touches. You know.
Yeah, he's really not. Again, man, I just think we need offense could be a little bit better, which means longer drives, more plays, more touches for everybody. Because it doesn't seem we had half as many in Mississippi State. That's just not. That's just a lot more carries we can give to him. And what happened to Dominic Johnson? He finally came back from injury, and then he doesn't have anything in this game. And
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing against. I'm sure you feel the same way. Nothing against Rocket, but
Do you feel like our offensive line is playing the way it should for our running backs? Do you feel like it's opening up the holes that should be opening for our running backs? Or do you feel like we're getting clogged up a lot?
I mean, I feel like it could be better, man. I mean, I really do for
Mm-hmm.
what this for this like we for the offensive line to be what they are and experienced as they are. You know what I mean? Still
Mm-hmm.
could be. I mean, it's hard to. I guess if you look at it, we're top 10 in the rushing offense in the nation, but I feel like we could be number one with the stable we got of guys and the potential of the offensive line. But it feels like against these, but also that takes into account games that we won. But these last three losses, yeah, man, it is not. It's definitely been stacked in there more, and you're just kind of seeing a lot more like 1 yard carries, no gain, 1 yard losses instead of at least getting three or four, like as a worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm. And this is the first time we've ever played this team, too, which is another interesting fact.
It's interesting.
There's no history. Like, well, they beat
Oh,
us, and no history at all. So,
No, yeah, we have nothing to look historically too.
I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, man. I feel like we can win this thing. Um, and I know, look, if you listened to the podcast last week and he took uh, the Alabama, we're gonna win. Seriously, come on, man. Y'all know we wasn't
Well,
gonna win that. So
yeah, I think people can probably tell by the tone and everything that we didn't feel too good about Mississippi State game, like going.
no,
You know what
no,
I mean?
no. After
Like this
Alabama
week's
lost and
different.
everything,
Like I know
yeah.
Rich. If Rich somehow comes back from the dead, or maybe it's just a rumor. Like I didn't go to his funeral. I didn't see Rich's body. So maybe he's still out there. If he's still there, and he's just somehow scraped up $10. Rich, I'll give you $20 if you lose, but you need to start off. You need to put it all on the Hogs, man. What you got to do
Pretty
to
sure
get
he
a little bit
died. I
more
heard
money.
he
But
drowned in the bathroom at the McDonald's over on
damn it,
Crowthrow Junction. They say there was.
that gets
Yeah,
me every time.
I was talking to a friend of mine that works at the tire shop over here, and I guess he was eating at the. He was getting like a McMuffin that morning. I guess he said the coroner and everything was out there. So
Damn. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna do that again, man. I'm more than the loss last week. I was just hoping that.
just hoping he hadn't
Sorry.
passed on. Well, I think I think that's that's what you do. Sometimes you know sometimes you gotta hope for the best. Can we beat
Arkansas.
Auburn? Can we beat Liberty? Like, can we beat LSU? There's some folks out there that are real negative, man. They don't think we're gonna win another game. I've heard that. Like, we're not winning another game this year. Could you imagine?
Arkansas 54. BYU 33. Sorry, felt good. I had a
Um,
epiphany. You don't have to give your score yet.
Arkansas 24, BYU 17.
I think we win this game. And I feel like we both feel that way. That's exciting. But yeah, I mean, like Auburn, we can win these games. Liberty.
Mm-hmm. I think our defense will show up. What the hell was that? I think our defense will show up. So that's definitely, oh my God, something that's going to occur. And then I think it's something. I think that's what we've been missing, man. Is the defense. So who knows?
Yeah.
What do you think? Those emojis, man, are crazy. What do you think is gonna happen with the fantasy football? With everybody, like all the winning teams took a loss last week.
Yeah. All right. The playoffs. Let me just tell you this, Chad. This is how it's coming down to the nitty gritty. The playoffs are round ones. Uh, November 12th. Wow, that week. It's the playoffs. Like we're down now. Like all the winning teams like lost. You, me, Hogstradamus run like a razorback. The only team that we won, so this we know, is the Big Wiener Bandits. Team Florida Hog lost. Wow, that's good. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Um, wow. Let's see what Fantrax. that could be I could kind of help them with this if they made it worth my while. Man, I could really improve this kind of
Good Lord,
this
man.
website.
Look, I'm going to do this real quick because I don't even want to spend a lot of time on it. While you're looking that up, I'm just going to do hockey real quick because hockey sucks balls. Look, we have only won one game. We've lost every other game. The last game we lost to Mizzou 0-5. Just embarrassed by them. Fixing to go play Nebraska in Lincoln, Nebraska. And this is by far, so far, the worst since I've been watching Arkansas hockey. This is the worst beginning to a season I think I've ever seen. And I've been watching it since the inception of the program. So,
Do you think it was because they ignored us and started talking about that other hockey?
I don't know. I definitely want to go to this North Texas game, though. That'd be pretty cool.
I know I said that, man. You bleep that out, I guess.
Probably because they didn't retweet us, man. You know, you don't retweet somebody and things happen, especially somebody that's been supporting you the whole damn time. You've been around talking about you since the beginning of the podcast. Go back and listen.
All through the scene.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Let's have to go on up to Lincoln now.
Pick your side. Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to get that out of the way. They're horrible. It's horrible. The hockey jerseys don't have a hog on the front of them. Just don't make no sense. The hockey jerseys they're playing in does have a hog on the front of them, so that's weird that they're selling jerseys that are totally different from the jerseys they're wearing. They're losing every game. You know, they didn't retweet us. I mean, it's just one thing after another.
One thing after another. I had something on my mind about the hockey team. I don't know. I lost it.
Route
Anyways.
66 showcase is coming up.
They did make a statement about why they weren't selling those. Something about the NCAA and or Arkansas Eurocheck. Something about either Eurocheck or NCAA. Somebody won't let them sell those yet. They got they're behind a year, so I think maybe next year they'll know, and maybe once they start selling them,
They can't
next year
sell
could
them.
be good.
What kind of BS is that? I would be Yurachek. If the Yurachek did that, he should be ashamed of himself.
It might not be him, man. I'm
Right
just
now.
thinking they made a statement. Just
I think that's a good reason to find another athletic director out there if they ain't letting the club teams use the Razorback on there.
all right, here we go. All right, can I read the statement? This is a statement from the Razorback Hockey. Please see the statement below regarding our jersey store. Razorback fans, we have heard all of your requests for our new jerseys and questions asking why they weren't on our previous jersey store. Unfortunately, due to licensing rules, the school will not permit us to sell them to the public. This is why we were forced to sell a version of last year's edition. We know you all want the new versions, but currently the only way to get one is by winning our Chuck a Puck competition, which takes place every Friday home game. So there's a chance of getting one. We thank you for your understanding during this situation and hope you will continue to support our jersey stores with the jerseys that we are allowed to sell. Woo pig.
How do you get in the Chuck a Puck?
I have no idea. I think you buy a ticket or something.
On Friday?
No, it's just a Friday. Yeah, the Friday night games.
I can do that. I ain't got nothing going on Friday nights.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Chuck a Puck. What is Chuck a Puck?
I'll chuck a puck every Friday till I get a jersey.
You get to stand on the ice or something and just chuck one there and try to get one in the net? Probably, right?
I guess. Even if it was $5 an entry or something, it still wouldn't be bad. I'd still be down for that.
Oh, I don't think it's that bad. Oh yeah. This was 10. Okay, this was last year, but sure this is kind of similar. Razorback fans come join. Okay, Chuck a Puck contest. Second period intermission. $5 per puck or special deal. $20 for 5 puck.
Ooh.
Winner with the closest puck to the center ice point will get a Razorback hockey jersey.
Hell yeah.
So they give away one every Friday night. You know what I mean? Like
That's $40, man. I'll put us both in it. And we'll get one. So one of us will get one.
yeah,
It's
sure.
only like $5 to go to the game. Hell, that's just like a ticket anyway. That's a good price.
Not bad for a chance.
Not bad. 5 chances.
You think the other podcasts are talking about Chuck a Puck?
I don't know. They're certainly probably not.
Wow, look at this. Yeah. And it's always for good calls and stuff. Oh. Well, this one's for the hockey club. That is a good call. Yeah, same thing. Winner with the closest puck to the middle of the Whataburger banner will get a Razorback hockey jersey, free Whataburger for a year, and a Whataburger prize pack.
Did you say free Whataburger for a year?
This is sick.
Man, I'm going to have a heart attack when I win this thing.
This is going to be awesome, man. Just all the time. Let me send this to you, man. Like, it's got the... Oh, man. That jersey looks sick. And it's the Razorback on the jersey. When I was reading that, or reading the last one about the $20 per... And it's still that price, but it was from, like, last year. And it was the current jerseys. But this year, it has a hog on it, man.
How much is a jersey normally? It's like, what, $120. So let's pay $120 to do Chuck Puck, get all those pucks, and just sit there and do it, man, until we win it. Just think how many pucks would that be? $120 worth of pucks.
They might throw a special in there. $20 for 5 pucks. So what? 25 pucks we can throw there. I want to see a picture of this Chuck a Puck. Like what the? That they've got on the YouTube games. Just getting a beer, getting an intermission. All right. Yeah.
Chuck a Puck, Chuck a Puck, Chuck a Puck.
Well, yeah. What else?
Man, I don't guess I have much else, man.
Good podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody.
What did we just stop doing picks this year, didn't we? At what point did we just stop doing picks? Okay, a couple weeks ago.
Last week?
I don't know. I wonder how many weeks we made it in. We were really good about it last year. This year we just...
And last week was the only week we didn't do picks, man. We can do picks. It just started getting...
I like doing
There's some good games this week. I haven't added any of them up, so who knows? Let's go. All right. Penn State at Michigan.
Michigan.
I'll go Michigan as well. Auburn at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
I'll go Ole Miss as well. Kansas at Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I'll go Oklahoma as well. Let's see here.
I don't know.
Iowa State no.
After that beating Oklahoma just took, dude.
Well, Kansas lost their starting quarterback to injury. Pretty sad. He was really good.
Yeah.
I'd like to pick. I'll pick Kansas. Believe it. I hate Oklahoma.
That was a bad loss they took, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think I want Kansas too for switching. I was just like thinking, man, that was so bad. That was embarrassing. Like 40-0. Like,
The Texas too, and the Red River Shootout, just like not even like a really good Texas team. Just um, Minnesota at Illinois, 5-1 versus 5-1.
Let's go with Illinois.
I'll go Barry Lunny.
Barry.
And that what's his face?
Bellama.
Beatle, yeah. Alabama at Tennessee. Too bad that's at 2:30, same time as us.
Man, I actually have to think about this one. Well, let's go with Alabama.
Yeah.
I want to go with Tennessee, but it's Alabama, man. They always like. Here's the thing I've learned. Here's the thing I've learned about watching Alabama this year. Just paying close attention to their games more than I have in a while, just because I hate them and it's just hard. They're hard to watch, but they will kill them. Face mask you. They can hold you, clothesline you, stomp you, and the referees never call any of it. Helmet to helmet against quarterbacks, horse collar, all of it. They just kind of let it slide.
Oklahoma at TCU. Oklahoma State at TCU.
Oklahoma State.
I'll go TCU.
Going Horned Frogs?
Going Horned Frogs. NC State. These are ranked games, these last two. It's weird ranked games, but.
NC and what?
NC State at Syracuse.
NC State.
I'm going NC State as well. The game is a number 15 at number 18. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Let's go. Wow, goodness gracious. LSU at Florida.
I think Florida can beat LSU. This Napier guy.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah, who's there?
Yeah, old Billy. Billy
Keeps
Napier.
getting so close in all these games. I think this is the one he wins.
I'll go Florida too. I'll go old Billy. Clemson at Florida State.
Clemson.
Yeah, I'll go Clemson as well. Mississippi State at Kentucky.
Mississippi State. I don't know if Kentucky can handle that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mississippi State. I don't think they're gonna have their. I think their start quarterback Levis is out too, so that'll be tougher to kind of overcome. As good as Mississippi State, I hate to say it, they're looking pretty good so far.
Especially
USC
at play everybody with their quarterbacks out. Isn't that weird?
Oh yeah, that is kind of pirate kind of thing to do. Just kind of get lucky, roll through it. He'll start losing eventually. Eventually, players will start to get healthy. Bryce Young for Alabama, he'll get healthy. USC at Utah.
Let's go Utah.
Okay. I'll go USC. That's it. Oh no, here we go. Nevada at Hawaii.
I'm gonna go with Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Rainbow Warriors, man.
Let's go Rainbow Warriors. I will too. That's it, man. That's the Hog Call Pick'em.
Well, we did it, man. We did a podcast, and can't nobody say we didn't.
No, they cannot.
Woo Pig Suey.